And we will start, I believe, with Pavel on this one. The war in Afghanistan has now been going on for 10 years, which I believe I heard is the longest such conflict in U.S. history. President Obama has announced a timetable for gradual withdrawal of our forces there between now and 2014. Do you support that decision? If so, why? If not, why?
War in Afghanistan, some blame started war in Iraq. Why they say some found weapons of all of this for national security on base, they say it started. When how many? 30 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. When Bush started war against Iraq over there, they say on base of weapons of mass destruction. Again, for purpose of national security. I think they say didn't find weapons of mass destruction. But it's common sense. If somebody will say me, I will come tomorrow to your house to investigate, to find something, sure, I will hide somewhere what they looking for. Same in Iraq, I think they have weapons of mass destruction. But now in Afghanistan, continue war in Afghanistan, it unlanded so many our boys, troopers died there. I think we have to round up this war because we spend so much money on training their troops. Therefore, we have to get our troops from there as soon as possible. But at the same time, I recommend media created this so much problem against our troops. So many troops died because of media. Therefore, my point is, I have to take troops out of there. But now they have to not enroll in military, but for support, but not direct battle against insurgents. But I think it have to take out as soon as possible.
When 9/11 happened, and I was driving to work, it devastated, I'm sure, many of us. But when I came home, I found great comfort when I listened to my president talk about how he was going to protect us. And I do believe that he kept us safe for 8 years. And that makes me proud to be an American, that I have the comfort of my president, my government keeping me safe. Yes, we've been in Afghanistan for 10 years, and it is a long time. But I do not believe that I can dictate when they need to come out. And I do not believe that it should be publicly advertised in the media or that this president should say anything against the military. It is the military's decision. I don't have to know everything that they're doing. I just need to know that they're doing the job of protecting me and my family, our citizens. What happened was bad, and we needed to clean it up so that it wouldn't happen again. I do not feel as safe now with all the secrets and with everything coming out than I did with our former president. It's a military decision. When they decide that it's time, when they decide that the job that they are doing is done, then our men will come home. And I'm aligned to think that I don't have to know the details, but I trust that our military is doing the best job they can. Thank you.
I agree with the troop withdrawal plans, although I don't think they will follow through with it. I've been lobbying in Washington, D.C. for the last 6 months against the wars, and I've seen their troop withdrawal schedules out to 2017, 2018, and even then we'll be in this war for another 10 years. It's just a matter of how many more troops do we want to see dead. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it is what it is. We're killing people and they're killing us. There's no, I don't know how to put this, but And if we think that we are safe any safer by dropping bombs on people, we're not. Those people will eventually come around. We are creating more enemies by starting wars with every other country we don't like. We shouldn't have gone in Libya, we shouldn't be in Iraq, we shouldn't have gone into Pakistan, we shouldn't be in Afghanistan. Yes, 9/11 happened, we were hurt, but you don't respond to a tragedy by inflicting more tragedies around the world. That's not how Christian values, Islamic values, Jewish values. God teaches us, do not kill, do not hurt sacred life. God teaches us to bear with patience. When you're inflicted with harm, you deal with it with patience and forgiveness. That's what I've been taught from my God. You cannot, if somebody harms me, I have the right to get justice, but you don't get justice. I wouldn't get peace if I start killing every other person that I could be a potential terrorist or a potential person that would hurt me. That's not how it works. And we've been wasting billions of dollars, and we'll continue wasting them until we get our heads straight and get our troops out of there. So, thank you.
I've got some literature in the back.
You want to use it this way?
No. Okay. But I wanted you to see this. Don't leave without looking at that. There have been 6,500 Americans killed. Do any of you recognize the name Daniel Adams by chance? Sergeant Daniel Adams was killed in Afghanistan less than 2 weeks ago. He lived right up the street here in Hillsborough. I would like to take a minute of my time and silence in his memory, please. Thank you. And if I run out of time, I've got two quotes I'd like to give. One is from Cicero, which is over 2,000 years old. He says, the budget should be balanced, the treasury should be refilled, public debt should be reduced, the arrogance of officialdom should be tempered and controlled, and the assistance to foreign lands should be curtailed, lest Rome become bankrupt. People must again learn to work instead of living on public assistance. That's over 2,000 years ago. I'd like to do one other quote. This is from the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, number 12, to raise and support armies, but no appropriations of money to that use shall be for longer term than 2 years. Thank you.
Okay, just to give you a window into what it's like to be a 911 family member on that day, I called my family back east, and I forgotten that David worked in the World Trade Center. I grew up with him down the road in Oklahoma City. I'm from Tulsa. He had 3 boys about the same age as mine, and I called up my sister-in-law, and I said, well, have you heard anything? She said, David's gone. I said, what do you mean David's gone? He was talking to his wife on the phone. The phone went dead. He looked up and the plane hit the second building. I wanted to go after them right away. Our family started cheering when we went into Afghanistan. Get those bastards. And I'm sorry if I'm not sensitive to this loving religion that murdered my cousin. I'm really sorry about it. That it says in the Quran that the infidels, they are to convert us to their religion, or they are to kill us and destroy us. And we've got to protect ourselves. Now, I don't know that we need to have as many people as we have over there right now. I don't think that's true. When they came over with a few people, they didn't come over with a whole ton of people. I think we can do it with special forces, but that's not my decision to make. It's not a government bureaucrat's decision to make. It's only one person's decision to make, and those are the people that are on the ground the commanding officers in Afghanistan and Iraq, and we are still in Germany. We still have bases in Germany, and I wasn't even alive when that war ended. We still have bases in Japan. My brother was stationed there. We still have bases all over the world, so we can have bases, but we should move out the primary thing. Thank you.
I don't think we should be in the Middle East. I do agree with Lisa from let's get the people who created those acts. I don't think it was the country of Afghanistan. Actually, I think we went into Iraq first, which, as far as I know, they had nothing to do with that. Yeah, it was Afghanistan and then Iraq, but larger into Iraq. I do agree with her too. I don't know how many folks they sent over, but it's a special forces. We got Bin Laden with the Navy SEALs. I would say let's go and get those people the same way. As far as pulling out, yeah, I'd talk to the generals, to the guys that are in charge, and say, hey, how do we get everybody out of here as quickly and safely? And whatever they say, then I would implement that. But I don't think we have any cause to be in the Middle East. They've been a warring faction for over 2,000 years, and it's not going to end anytime soon, and I'd just soon not be part of it.
First, I want to respond on this subject to a couple of comments that were made by fellow panelists. First, the notion that we're going to solve the problem of Islamic extremism by resorting to the Quran sounds to me like the idea that we would have resolved the Cold War by going back to the Communist Manifesto. So I don't think that approach will work. But second thing I wanted to respond to was the idea that it's the military's decision whether we keep our troops in Afghanistan or not. No, that misunderstands the Constitution. It doesn't give the right to declare war to the military. That's a function for Congress.
Yes.
And so Congress has to make that decision. Now, I think that when we went into Afghanistan after September 11th, I was totally on board with that. That was the right thing to do because we'd been attacked by an organization that was operating in that country and they weren't doing anything about it. But 10 years later, that's not what we're doing now. 10 years later, we are quote-unquote nation building. Right. And nation building doesn't work. It's extremely expensive in both lives and money, and it's not necessary. What I would do is with countries like Afghanistan is say, look, if you guys want to be ruled by the Taliban, that's your problem. But if you have terrorist groups operating in your country, we're coming in. Amen. And we don't need to come in with 100,000 troops and take over the country. We're just going to bomb a few select places like where the terrorist camps are, and maybe while we're there, we'll take out the capital. You know, take out the people who are allowing those terrorist groups to operate in that country. It's far more selective, far less expensive, and will be far more effective at defeating the terrorists. Somalia, any country where there are terrorist groups operating, we put them on notice. That's got to stop. Other than that, you run your own country. It's not our job.
Okay, for those who want to take advantage of it, 30-second follow-up, starting with Paul.
United States take all some problem in the world take on own. I think we have in world United Nation. Is therefore United Nation must take some international decision about war and peace.
Yes, I think I did misspeak. It is Congress's job if they're going to vote for us being overseas. It is not the president's decision, but I do believe that Congress has to listen to our military because they are the ones that are in the action, and the military must inform Congress as much as they can, but we don't need to know as a people. We vote for the people in Congress as our representatives to see to our benefit and our safety, and that is their job.
If you vote for me, I will sponsor legislation in Congress to bring back all of our troops out of Afghanistan and Iraq. I do believe the only way you're going to defeat terrorists is through the Quran. I can speak through that. You can kill as many potential terrorists as you want. You will create another 10,000 that hate you. Last year, I got a chance to attend a jihadist rally in Pakistan that I went to. There was 5,000 people ready to give their lives to fight America. If you think those people, you can drop as many bombs as you want playing with your joysticks and drone attacks, that's not going to get rid of them. The only way you're going to use it is using Islamic scholars to defeat those people. You cannot fight it through the military. Sorry, thanks.
I think everyone will agree that the extreme terrorists are an issue. The military, unfortunately, don't equate to the person on the ground. They don't want to be there, let me tell you. The military have their vested interests, and that's where their purpose lies. Almost all of them are in the warring business. If you go back and look at Afghanistan, for instance, 10 years ago, we were supporting, or 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, we were supporting Taliban with funds and armament so they could fight the Russians. I mean, how fouled up a government policy can you possibly have? How many things can you do wrong with the Congress that you've got now? Boy, you better start making some changes.
Condoleezza Rice said they've been at war with us. We just haven't been at war with them after this happened. How do you negotiate with somebody who thinks that the only way they can get to the very best heaven, because they got 7 gradations of heaven, is if you die as a martyr for Islam, holy jihad. So, if that whole ideology has been weaponized by the Marxists that have been trying to take over our country, and they're using these jihadists to kill us. So you can't negotiate with terrorists. I think I'll just kill a few less people.
I don't think I have anything to add.
Okay. Because of time constraints, we're just going to go right now to and we just need a 30-second response on this.
Hold on, I have a question. May I ask one question to you?